Hi, my name is Ryan, and I'm a boot nerd, a shoe nerd, whatever you want to say. And I've had lots of different pairs of boots and shoes throughout the years, especially talking about Goodyear welted constructed shoes. And I've learned a lot about shoes. And today I want to talk about Thursday boots. Usually they're the entry level boot for guys or gals wanting to get into a Goodyear welted shoe. And after having them for several years, what do I think of them? Does that even really matter? And how long will they last? Well, that's what I want to discuss today. To date, I've had 4 different pairs of Thursday boots, and my wife has had her own pair of Thursday boots. And I really feel like I can now form an opinion about the brand after wearing them for several years. I've had 2 pairs of Captains and 2 pairs of Diplomats, and my wife has a pair of Diplomats that she uses. In a nutshell, I could really sum it up this way. I think they're great boots. I think for 90% of guys who are looking for a nice, stylish, Goodyear welted boot, they're perfect. If you take care of them, they'll last a long time. If you beat them up, you can bring new life into them by restoring them. The leather is that good. And I think they're just great shoes. Looking at my Diplomats, these are what I believe some of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. And there's actually a story behind that that's a little unique. So when I first bought these Diplomats, I had my parents visiting from out of state, and we went on a boat tour, and it downpoured on us, and it completely soaked my shoe. I mean, it was soaked in and out. I only had them for a week at the time, and I thought I had ruined them, but I had lost my wallet. It was just a crazy day, but I had to run back to the boat to get my wallet with these Diplomats completely soaked through. And I believe because of that, these molded to my feet way quicker than a normal pair of Goodyear welted shoes. And now to the point, putting these on, it's like putting on slippers. Now I have many pairs of Allen Edmonds that the leather footbed has molded, and they're really comfortable. I love them, but nothing is as comfortable as this shoe. I don't know if it's because of the wedge sole and how it's made, but it's my most comfortable shoe. This, believe it or not, is one of my favorite pairs of shoes. I have really expensive pairs of shoes. I have cheap pairs of shoes. I have the whole gambit, and this is one of my favorite pairs of shoes. I just love it. I will get these resold until they die, and I don't wear them enough, so these will likely last forever. And that's the one thing I want to talk about. With Thursday, you're not getting that leather insole. And a lot of boot people will be snobby about this, to be completely honest with you. They think you have to have a leather insole for it to be worth anything. And I get that, because that's how I feel about dress shoes. All my Allen Edmonds are the leather, full veg tan leather insoled Allen Edmonds. I love them. But for most of us with a boot, we just don't need it because we don't wear boots as much. We don't wear them for work. We wear them for style, or maybe casually at work at an office job where we're walking on carpet the whole day. But I do see what people mean by they want the leather soles. I am in that crowd too, but I do think if all you can get, or maybe instead of buying 1 pair of Viberg, you want 5 pair of Thursday boots, I think that's great. I think that's a great way to approach Goodyear welted shoes. I am extremely happy with these shoes over many years of use. I think they're just fantastic. My Captains, the one thing I will say about the Captains is how sleek they are. It's really of a dressier boot, so they don't do as great on a job site. My work, I don't do any physical labor, to be honest with you, but I do sometimes have to visit job sites. These don't fit in at all. These fit in perfectly. I could pretend like I know what I'm doing by walking around and getting some work done with these on. With the Captains, they're more of a dress shoe, and it's still a really good pair of shoes, but you're not going to be getting confused for Thorogoods anytime soon. And that's the thing. My opinion of it is this is how Thursday wants to be. They don't want to put a leather footbed in their shoe. They want a shoe that's more comfortable from the start. And why I think that is because both of these, all the shoes I've had a very thick leather midsole. And so they could spend the money and put the leather as the insole and then just use a plastic or whatever Red Wing uses on their mock toes as their midsole, and they could have the insole be leather. So I think they choose to put the leather there, and they choose to focus in on comfort more when it comes to their shoes. And I've seen this with Allen Edmonds over time. Many people think that Allen Edmonds, they're just trying to get cheaper by making their fiberboard lasted shoes that have pour-on and cushioning. The reality is that is a part of it, right? But the reality is with Allen Edmonds is they were trying to get a shoe that's more comfortable. They're trying to get their shoes into more people's hands, and you do that by making a more comfortable shoe. It takes me a week of wear sometimes to break in a new pair of Allen Edmonds shoes, when Thursday or their other style of the fiberboard style with the pour-on insole like Thursday, it takes a day, maybe a couple hours. And that's by choice. They want to go for comfort over having that leather footbed that may last 20 years, but this is going to be comfortable right out of the box. So I don't even think that's a demerit for the brand. I think that's a choice that they do the more comfortable footbed now, and they know their guys aren't beating them up on job sites. They're not abusing the shoe. The shoe is still going to last a very long time. So that's my opinion of the Thursday line. My wife loves her Thursday boots. She gets a ton of compliments on her Thursday boots. They're super cute. I mean, they're 1,000 times cuter than my size 12 and a half. And that's what I do wear with Thursday. I wear a 12 and a half. I tried the 12 and a half wide because the first pair of Captains I got was just a standard 12 and a half. It was too thin. It was just way too thin. So I got the 12 and a half wide, and it's a little bit too wide, but I can wear a thicker sock and still be super comfortable in these. I don't know if it's a different last, but the Diplomats in the 12 and a half is a little bit wider, it feels like to me. So they're right out of the box. They're a little bit more comfortable. So that's my opinion on Thursday boots and shoes. Don't let anyone tell you they're garbage or look down on you because you wear Thursday boots. They're great boots that are going to last you many years. So continue to enjoy your boots, or if you're thinking about buying your first pair of Goodyear Welted shoes, buy these boots because they're just fantastic. So what I'll do is I'll show them walking around a little bit, model them a little bit for you guys. And please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you. All right, guys, I gotta show you my wife's Diplomats. These might be the cutest shoes ever. Look how small they are. And these are just awesome little Thursday Diplomats. My wife loves them. She's broken them in fully. She thinks they're super comfortable. She's not into boots and shoes. I've been trying to get her in. I've gotten her some Atalantes, some Thursdays, and this is her favorite. She just loves these little boots. And they're tiny. Look at